Hey guys, this is episode 9 of Noodle Time. Welcome. Here with me is Inter Miami's 7th DP, Tony Rubio. Tony, say hello.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited to sign this contract and get going with my third DP slot. Is that what we're still going with? 3 DPs for Miami?
Yeah, not illegal. As long as MLS doesn't find out, I guess.
No,
but yeah.
no, bro. David Beckham's offshore company in the Bahamas is paying me. It's okay.
That's cool. Okay. At least you have like enough money to come by, to live. Yeah.
Yeah, it's curious over there where David Beckham has his offshore Bahamas account. Don Garber's is right next door. So small world.
Small world. So yeah, at least you're living fine. So yeah, at least as long as they don't find out, we're all good.
Yeah, no, Pellegrini's out of there, so I'm good for now.
Yeah. Okay. Enough Inter Miami talk. We are obviously all about the Dash and Dynamo, so no hard feelings Inter Miami, and good luck paying that fine. And yeah, they're in deep trouble though. Anyways, we're talking about the Dash today. They played the 2 games last week. The first one against Washington Spirit, and the other one against the Red Stars, which was an interesting week for them. We're going to talk about it since the Dash are in a pretty weird situation right now. And also we're going to talk about the Dynamo's loss at Kansas City, which was pretty annoying, especially the second half. And just a little bit of housekeeping. Remember, Ko-fi.com/dynamicfoxtrot. That's the place you're going to find all the blog posts, all the newsletters, and the Noodle Time episodes. So keep an eye on that one. And also, if you want to support the content, yeah.
Hey, shout out Wilson Calvert.
Wilson Calvert, of course, for being the only Asada supporter for the month of May. This is now his 3rd straight month supporting us. So yeah, shout out to Wilson.
I'm gonna call out Webb Tilton, and it's just a shame, Webb, that we're not receiving any of the money that you're feeding Gabriel Brenner every week. I know you pay this man's salary, Webb. Give it to us.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Webb. Feel free to spend your money wherever you want.
As soon as Ted Segal takes over, then we can hasten for that. But for now, thank you, Wilson Calvert, for supporting us. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the show. Let's talk about the Dash because, like, the Dash coming in after like a pretty good Challenge Cup last year, now it feels like the Dash are a weird team in the sense that they come in on Wednesday. They come in against the Washington Spirit. Washington's down to like 10 players. They parked the bus, and the Dash look pretty barren. They couldn't like figure anything out, and they lose at home 2-1 against the 10-player Washington Spirit. And they come in on Saturday. They beat the Chicago Red Stars. Like they come back. Like they started losing 1-0, then they came back. Obviously an amazing goal by Nichelle Prince, but like it's just an interesting situation because like I was expecting the team to like adapt and everything, but it's just like that game against Washington Spirit. It felt so weird. And coming into Saturday and getting that win, the first win of the season, and it's really worrisome to me, in the sense like how the Dash are approaching each game in and out to start the season.
I feel like we just gotta let go of the Challenge Cup already. It's the first good thing to happen to the Dash. For the first big thing in a long time that's good to happen to the Dynamo Dash organization, and now we're just holding on to it for dear life, and it's amazing. But we got the banner up. Way soon to put it behind us now, because I think that's honestly affecting. I don't know if it's affecting the Dash too much, but the narrative, not just in the Houston media, but around NWSL, it's like, wow, Dash Challenge Cup. Like, I'm not saying it was a fluke or anything, but like, tournaments can be won by underdogs, can be won by on a whim. So the Dash we need to put that behind us and just focus on what the Dash is right now, and it's troubling. In general, it was a big L week for Houston teams. I mean, I won't be as harsh to the Dash as I am to the Dynamo, because that was just a depressing game that we're going to get into, more so because we know what we could be and what we weren't. But the Dash, I think, have to be disappointed with just 3 points this week. I think I said last podcast, minimum 4 points was what we needed to be happy with this week, and we didn't get it.
Yeah, they are gonna have another opportunity to get 3 points on the road against Kansas City, which is a team that has yet to win a game. But at the same time, like there's still reason to worry for the Dash, like over the course of the season, since especially whenever they lose the starters for the Olympics, and international breaks and stuff like that. Like I don't know how they're gonna approach each game and out. They did announced a couple signings the past couple of days. The first one being Jasmine
Snyder, I think.
Oh no, Jasmine. I keep forgetting. Jasmine Spencer. Yeah,
my bad. Yes.
Yeah. She used to play for OL Reign, and now today, like as soon as I was setting up all my stuff, they did announce the signing of Andrea Housekeeping. She's a midfielder and.
Oh crap! I haven't even seen that one.
Yeah, it's pretty new. Like it caught me off guard because I was setting everything up and then they announced it. Like she did play in the United States at the college level back in 2016 for the University of South Florida, and she spent the last few seasons in Iceland and France.
Oh crap! Yeah, I see. Andrea Housekeeping from Kópavogur, Iceland. She's 25 years old, just like Andres. And yeah, it looks like she played.
Absolutely.
She played for Le Havre, the team from France, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember from when Bob Bradley used to coach there, and he almost got them promoted on the men's side. But we got Jasmine Spencer from OL Reign. We got Andrea Housekeeping, midfielder from Iceland. Jasmine Spencer's a forward, by the way. And then lastly, we signed a draft pick, Makame Gomera Stevens from Hawaii. And we signed her, she's also a midfielder, this week. And in the meantime, let go of Katie Stengel, who signed a deal, I believe in Denmark or somewhere over there in Scandinavia, to get more playing time.
Yeah, and like I figured that James Clarkson was pretty much upset with the production of the offense, but like just looking at the press conferences, like he's still eager to see how the team is developing, obviously evolving after the Challenge Cup. I know it's I keep repeating the Challenge Cup, but I feel like it's a pretty good point of comparison.
Yeah, I told you let it go. Don't make me get over there.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully these signings will be like a pretty good reinforcement for the Dash, especially when the starters are gonna be missing eventually, and yeah, we just have to see what happens from here. We'll talk about the Kansas City game coming up after we talk about the Dynamo, and yeah, I was hoping that we don't see games like the Washington Spirit game again, because it was really disappointing, especially when they went down to 10 and the Dash didn't have like an immediate response like whatsoever.
I mean, it is a tricky game when we see it happen often in all forms of different soccer games, but sometimes you get 10 men, they park the bus. It was something they weren't doing before, and you're holding on for dear life, and it ends up working out more than when you had 11 and you were attacking. But obviously you don't want to be in that position usually. Also, 3 signings for the Dash in the past week, but there's been rumors about Mexican forward and Tigres family champion Maria Sanchez coming to the Dash. We don't have anything super concrete yet, but we'll see if something gets done now that the Tigres season is over. Hopefully bring over Maria Sanchez to help out the team and I guess kind of replace those forwards like Rachel Daly, Nichelle Prince that are going to be gone during the Olympics this summer. So if that happens, that'll be a huge move for the Dash.
Oh yeah, I always assumed Maria Sanchez was going to come in at some point, since the Dash recently acquired her NWSL rights from the Red Stars, but that was like a couple months ago now, I think. And yeah, like she should be coming here eventually, like at some point soon. Like I feel like this is the teenage Hadebe situation for the Dash, like the Dynamos, like we're expecting it to happen eventually.
We're gonna talk about that. We don't want to jinx it.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll shut up then.
I'll talk about it later. But yeah, I mean, the Dash. So 2-1 loss to the Spirit at home. which technically was supposed to be a game away at Washington, but like we shamed DC United last week because we had no one else to shame. We'll shame him again. And then Chicago Red Stars, we hosted them again, and 2-1 win. Mallory Pugh had a goal early for the Red Stars, it was the reason these results are more worrying to me, even though we got a win, is that the Red Stars and the Spirit are like the two worst teams in NWSL other than the Dash, and we couldn't really get it done against either of them that convincingly. The good thing is that there was chances this week. In the past couple of weeks, I've been feeling that the Dash just haven't been creating, especially in the Challenge Cup that happened a couple of weeks ago, and now we're seeing chances being created. But it hurt me when I think at the end of the Spirit game, Rachel Daly had a one-on-one, got a cross played into her. All she had to do was tap it in, and I mean, easier said than done, but a big old touch and straight to the goalkeeper. I was like, that should have been the point right there.
Yeah, and shout out to Nichelle Prince for scoring, which I think is most likely going to be like the Dynamo organization Puskas Award, like goal of the year essentially, and like it was a pretty good goal. I'm assuming like it was a cross, but like she like. She not only caught the keeper off guard, but like also she shot it, like passed it so well, like it was essentially a shot. So it was awesome.
It was fun. I mean, the chance right before that, she had an open 1-on-1 and missed it to the side, and then decides to outdo herself in the next play and just chips the goalkeeper from 18 yards, 20 yards to make up for it. So we tip our hat to Nichelle Prince, and I mean, yeah, there's still reason to worry about the Dash. Nothing concrete right now. You said we have Kansas City coming up. Still haven't been a good team, but it seems like all the bad teams are having good games against the Dash. So what is there to see under this? What can we expect from the Dash these coming weeks? Or what should we demand from them?
You mentioned the stronger teams in the league, like the Thorns or North Carolina, and those are going to be the games that the Dash can essentially, obviously, first of all, drop points like this against like the weaker teams. But it's this upcoming game is going to be a pretty good chance to see what the team is at, and also with like the new players coming in, like we just mentioned, and yeah, we just have to wait how it develops, how the chemistry also develops when it comes to the starters that are gonna be missing, of course, and yeah, it's a weird situation, honestly, and there's still a reason to worry.
Yeah, we'll see. Some fans I see kind of getting upset with James Clarkson. Things haven't turned around yet. Obviously, still way too early to be throwing people under the bus, but I'm just more worried about what's going to happen this summer when we lose our players, and if there's any way that we can catch up after this initial rut, if there's really going to be a turning point, if this last game against the Red Stars was a turning point, we'll see what comes from that. We'll leave that on an optimistic note. Hopefully, Maria Sanchez comes from Tigres, who just won the Liga MX final yesterday, and put this team back to the top where it belongs. But in this episode, now we're gonna go on and cover the depressing game of the Dynamo versus Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah, let's switch from an optimistic point to like a more depressing one.
Let's ruin y'all's day, but also just quick intermission. Shout out to those Sons of Weaver boys. If you know, little group message me and Andres have with some other Dynamo fans. David, Robert, Felipe, all you guys. Hopefully you're listening. Ross, and if you're listening, you better send a message in the group message. If not, we know y'all are fake.
Ross is like Glen Turan FC general manager, a club over there in the UK, and yeah, Ross is pretty awesome. He's Andy Driver, by the way.
We're gonna have Ross on at one point this season. Talk about. We're just gonna crack open some beers, even though it's gonna be 9 p.m. over there and in the morning over here. But we will still have a beer with him.
Yeah, he always wakes up like at 3 a.m. to watch the Dynamo, since the games essentially start like around that time or something, like in the morning.
We're gonna take a camera crew to Northern Ireland, shoot a documentary on Ross Jackson.
I've sell it to Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys can fund this by paying us on Kofi.
No, okay. Enough sidetracking. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the Dynamo game. They did lose 3-2 against Kansas City. It was a really the first half was pretty decent, but obviously the second half was when the Dynamo essentially got destroyed in almost every aspect. Let's talk about it because like just like with the first half, obviously we got Matias Vera scoring his first league goal for the Dynamo, and I thought it was a pretty interesting play, especially the Fafa's recovery. And
that just defines Fafa for us so far this season. Maybe some people are upset that we haven't seen the goals from him. That we haven't seen we've seen the assists. I don't know what does he have like 3 assists now? Honestly,
I know he has a bunch. Like I also know that the assist
his
actually
work
was
rate.
credited. The assist was credited to Rudy, since like he was like the last person that touched it.
Yeah.
To get to Vera, and yeah, it's just that there's a lot of credit to be given to Fafa so far in the season. He's essentially involved in almost every scoring play that we have, and yeah, he's just like the X factor like for the offense. It's just that we haven't seen many goals from him, but so far he's been pretty good with us.
You know what I wanted to just came to my mind right now. We didn't have this written down or anything. What I'm actually starting to get a little bit unhappy with about the Dynamo that I haven't seen that has panned out is obviously we've had Pastor out for a good stretch of games now. Apparently re-injured whatever hip thing he was going on with, so we still might not see him for a couple weeks. Unfortunate because apparently the Canadian national team wanted to call him up. So sad for him, but I'm sure once he gets fit, he's gonna help dash out and get back on the Canadian national team or debut. I don't know if he's ever debuted for them. But we've been seeing Memo being played out wide, and just like he has in the past, with Wilmer, with everybody he's been with in the past, and with Tab, I just really don't want to see Memo on the wing anymore. I think he's so neutralized. He's so neutralized out there. He doesn't have the pace for it. Like we could understand another formation if he's playing maybe a little bit more of a 4-4-2, but Tab's trying to play him on the left wing, a la Larwin Quintero from last year, cutting in. And it's just not Memo. It's not Memo's game, and so that's just I just want to make that point. I don't want to see Memo on the wing anymore this season. Then he gets subbed out in the 60th minute, and he did nothing. He did nothing in that game essentially, and I think they're just kind of putting the fire out on him before he even gets started when he's starting out on the wing.
Yeah, to keep talking about Dynamo players out of position, let's talk about Boniek because
he wasn't out of position. To be fair, he wasn't out of position. Look, I mean, he's got a midfielder's mentality, and unfortunately, he's it's a dog eat dog world, and he sees a blonde-haired fast Polito running at him. But of course, you want to swap him down, dude. Anybody would want to kick him to the ground, but
like man, obviously, like there's gonna be some bad days, but like this specific game was extremely horrible for Boniek in the back. Like he essentially like Dynamo were like run over in the second half, and Boniek being responsible for the penalty, and like overall he just did like outside of the penalty, like he also like a really bad game overall. And
I mean, look, we love Boniek, of course. Nobody's saying he's not a club legend. He's
oh yeah, of course.
I have his jersey for a reason, but come on, I don't think it's on Boniek. He's had a couple games in there, but this is also questionable on Tab. While we've seen that Boniek can fill in, but why is he still being a starter there? Like, I know, maybe we're going to get Teenage Hadebe from Turkey, but, dude, I mean, we have a minor's fit. He doesn't make those kind of boneheaded decisions for the most part. And then we have poor little Alejandro Fuenmayor sitting in the back. So it's kind of infuriating that happened. To be fair, I think we lose this game one way or another, regardless if Boniek is playing. That's not me being depressing, but like Andres said, we had the first half. Honestly, impressive half. I'll take that on the road. You get a goal, you sit and you defend well. But then obviously the first half is just Kansas City, Kansas City, Kansas City. Tab says he doesn't need the possession, that we're kind of more lethal without it. But come on, there comes a point where you need a little bit more possession, a little bit more attack. And then Gianluca Buzio, you can't do anything about that goal, man. What do you think about that?
Like that goal, like obviously that goal was pretty much unstoppable. That was like up, like the only way to stop that shot was the wall. Like if the wall like jumped high enough, but it like Busio took that free kick extremely well, and it was hard to stop. But like the main point,
no way to stop it.
Yeah, like my main point though is that thanks to that goal, like the Dynamo entered that mentality that we all know that was gonna happen, and it happened. And like, but like the reason I'm pretty angry about this game is because like after that goal, like literally the next 15 minutes they're gonna score 2 more goals, and that's gonna set the Dynamo back. And not only that, like they also tried like just like the Dash last week, like they basically did absolutely nothing up front, and almost like if it wasn't for that second goal like towards the end of the game, but like pretty much what the Dynamo were like trying to do, like nothing was materializing like past midfield. And
like, I mean that's a problem. It wasn't even. It didn't even look like we were trying to materialize anything. There's 11 people behind in our half defending, which I understand, but like I said, maybe this week's bone to pick is Otab, who I know has done an incredible job this season, but like we don't want to take too much stock into one game, but for me it bothered me because we're going into a 2-week break now. We have this sour taste for 2 weeks, have to deal with a loss, and then we're coming back for like a 3-4 game stretch. It's going to be really hard. I think. What are we playing? LAFC.
Yeah, LAFC on the road next. Yeah.
Are we playing Seattle? No, it's LAFC, Portland, RSL.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard games, man, and we're going on the road for 2 or 3 games, and these things can snowball. Hopefully we won't get into that. We won't bring that bad vibes yet, but like I said, there comes a point where we need a little bit more possession. We need to create a little bit more in attack, and you could say, man, we need another striker, we need another winger. Yeah, and our midfield's been really solid for this season so far. But I was telling this to the group message last week. I was saying I think we need to bring another center midfielder for depth. I don't know, or even bring another center midfielder. And we already have great options. Why not just have them battle it out? Because a game like this almost needs like a little bit more of a. Obviously, anybody could use him, but like a Zeller Ayanta player, somebody that's going to create something out of nothing. And whether whether we want to shoulder Memo with the attacking responsibility, I don't think that's ever going to be him, where he just takes the team on his back and goals out of nothing. And this is just the kind of game where, man, I think center mid after we feel center back is could be a really important position for us too.
Yeah, just to like piggyback on this specific situation, essentially just for this game, like that's a good point when you brought up like the possibility, like not possibility, but like an instance where like the Dynamo signed like another midfielder for depth. And in this specific situation, I kind of like mostly agree because Derek Jones didn't have a good game either, as well as Joe Corona. And obviously we would like to see like fresh legs out there for the second half. But yeah, like it's interesting to think about.
Yeah, I mean, in years past we had guys like Eric Bird, Todd Wharton. Guys that might not be starting games. I don't know. They're going to start 5 games a season, but they're going to be subbing in for you. And this season, I think we only have Seren for the most part, and then it's just I don't know. Juan Castilla, I think, is maybe a little bit too young. We'd love to see him, of course, but they haven't even been featuring for the team at all on the bench. I think the Dynamo need to go and just even find somebody to fill in the hole. I know we have a draft pick from SMU, Brandon Twerge. I think so. You pronounce his name Twergy or Twerge?
Terwigi, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a center back / CDM, but I think we need a little maybe more box to box or even a kind of a 10 to fire things up because it's a little rough there. What I was telling Andres is that we're going kind of for this counter style, which man, the last goal that we scored, that's exactly the goals you want to be scoring, but a lot earlier in the game.
Yeah.
I forgot who laid it off, but Bahamich on the wing. Thankfully, he finally gets 5 minutes, but gets his first assist in MLS. Rudy taps it in, 4th goal of the year, kind of up there with the strikers' top goals in the league. So we'll see if he can keep it up. But we need to see that earlier. But the goal that we got scored on, the 3rd goal the Dynamo gets scored on, Gadi Kinda taps it in. That's Derek Jones, Corona just trying to combine countering Kansas City. The sloppy pass gets taken away, and boom. They're in on goal. It's the counter is what I was telling Andres. And
the counter, yeah.
That's why we personally, I don't want us to be relying only on that. I don't know. It's easy to talk a lot of criticism after a loss, but it's just the initial rants that I'm getting.
Yeah, and just to go back to your point of fresh legs in midfield, I also like to see Ian Hoffman at some point playing.
Yes, I honestly forgot about him. I mean, right now, one thing I was going to cover, we're going to cover in a bit is, the rumor mill. We've been getting a lot of Dynamo rumors. Christian Ramirez leaving, Teenage Hadebe coming, et cetera, other more unsubstantiated rumors.
I forgot about that.
More unsubstantiated rumors, but Matt Jordan, as we all know, is on a 1-year extension. But right now, it seems like maybe we're even cleaning house a little bit. I saw a comment the other day like it's promising, even though we're not spending a lot of money. Tab brought in proven MLS veterans this offseason. He brings in Hadebe this summer transfer window, maybe another player to strengthen the team. Imagine this team after 2 or 3 transfer windows of Tab, just bringing in some steady players, and how much that could change the game. Just thinking about it long term, and right now I almost feel like Tab's cleaning up some of Matt Jordan's transfers because we love Ramirez, but the team doesn't work for him. He's not working for the team. Why don't we make everybody happy, get a move done? But it's almost like getting Ramirez out of here, as the next one to leave Bizama, because I don't think that's Tab's guy at all. I just say that because you brought up Hoffman, and I think Hoffman's more of a right back for Tab than he is a center mid.
Yeah, I guess like Bizama will be like another player that could potentially be moving. Like I can see him definitely like getting his option drop like in the offseason coming up, but
yeah, I don't think it's a player they drop because they're not going to get any transfer for him unless it's a club in Chile pays for it. But it's like there's just some of these players that obviously the coach isn't always here. They're not always here to choose every single player, but there's just some players on this team that don't fit for Tab, and it's a shame. But let's get them out as fast as we can and bring in some more of Tab's guys.
Yeah, and of course, we got like the new rumors for Ramirez. Obviously, we're still waiting to see what comes out of the Teenage Hadebe situation. Like, because it feels like everyone in Turkey is saying that the Dynamo signed Teenage Hadebe, and so from the sources here, especially like guys like Tom Bogert are only saying there's only interest and there's not a deal yet. But to be fair, that's news mostly just from last week, but things could have changed by now. But
we need an update.
It's just that everyone in Turkey is saying that the Dynamo signed Teenage Hadebe. So
to be fair, this weekend there was if many of you have the application on your phone called FootMob, like FOTMOB. We're not sponsored by them. I wish we were.
Yeah, I wish.
It's a great app to keep up with scores, and they usually don't screw around with rumors. But everybody got the notification from from FootMob saying Houston Dynamo signed Teenage Hadebe, and it was funny because this weekend I was talking to Andres and just looking up Teenage Hadebe stuff, and Transfer Market Turkey, like the official Twitter account, had tweeted out that rumor, and then I saw this Transfer Market employee from Turkey. He was tweeting out a lot about it, and I just quote tweeted one of his things saying Teenage Hadebe was done. It was going to be for sure, and I quote tweeted, and he responded to me saying, "You can trust me," like pretty much paraphrasing like it's a done deal. So I mean, for those that know FootMob, it's not usually a place that makes rumors. So maybe I was telling Andres, maybe we're just waiting for him to arrive in Houston, get his medical done, and then announce. But hopefully in the next week, we have our new center back. He gets quarantined, he gets training, and we have him ready to contribute for those games coming up in 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, and we're just waiting on Teenage. The new rumors on Christian Ramirez that we just talked about, potentially on Aberdeen.
Tell us about that. I don't know if all the fans know everything about what's going on with Christian Ramirez and his time at the Dynamo, and how is he linked to Aberdeen? Do you know who the head coach is?
So it started first as a rumor, and then I read one of the coaches that he used to work with Christian Ramirez. He wants to bring it up to Aberdeen. So I'm still waiting to see how it develops, since I feel like it's mostly just rumors for now. But it was interesting to think since the Dynamo we just talked about it, but yeah.
We saw Jeff Ruder and some of those other guys say the interest is real. Their head coach is Steven Glass, who was Atlanta United's caretaker manager last year after Frank de Boer got fired, and when Josef Martinez went out with an ACL injury. I remember it briefly, but yeah, Atlanta was interested in Christian Ramirez, and Dynamo didn't end up doing a deal, but now Glass is coaching Aberdeen in Scotland, who finished 3rd or 4th in the Scottish Premier League, I believe, which is not bad, right behind Rangers and Celtic. And Ramirez, 30 years old now. He proved he can score. He's a proven MLS goal scorer at Minnesota, but then gets kicked out. At LAFC, gets kicked out, and then now at the Dynamo. Kind of a perplexing trade. Also saw an opinion about that the other day, like why we brought him in when we already had Tab. It was like he's not really a pressing forward. We're not going to play 2 forwards with Manotas, and we could talk about that all day, another day. But it just Ramirez not playing here, like I said. So if the Dynamo can get his salary off the books, they can get a transfer fee for him, for God's sake. Then that's the best case scenario for everybody.
Yeah, that's too good to be true. So we just have to wait and see. Yeah.
Pray to Sunweb about that one. And no, I mean, like I said, we love Ramirez, but want to see him happy too. And there's been rumors from Mexico, unsubstantiated, but still bring him up. Ake Loba, Ivory Coast striker from Monterrey. Nico Castillo, Chilean striker from Club America, who suffered a pretty bad injury, but both proven goal scorers. Do I think that happen? No, probably like a 5-10% chance. But at least the rumors are there. There's some actual more substantiated stuff from people that don't want to give away their sources. But I think the Dynamo bring in another striker this offseason, and I think whether Ramirez leaves or not, I think they do bring in another striker.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, good things to look forward to over the next couple of weeks. I'm assuming that the Nichelle Prince transfer it gets officially announced, since everyone in Turkey is saying that it's real, and yeah, we'll see whatever happens with Christian Ramirez.
Yeah. So, what do we have to look forward to these weeks? Otherwise, we have obviously CONCACAF Nations League break. We're going to see if the U.S. can finally beat Honduras after that Olympic qualifying disaster. Yeah,
and the U.S. has all the players, but they still managed to be trash for some reason. But yeah, well. The Dynamo don't have games in the next couple of weeks because of the international break. So we'll definitely be talking about like Dynamo players abroad. Obviously, we got Boniek and Figueroa representing Honduras, and Lassiter representing.
Did Lassiter get called up?
Lassiter, I'm not sure, but I know that.
Seen anything about that.
I know that Seren recently got called up to El Salvador, and obviously we got Sarek Valentin with Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Dude, I want a Valentin Puerto Rico kid. Like when you get in contact with somebody, it's funny. I just saw Zarek, he arrived in Puerto Rico for their I think is it their World Cup qualifier? I think that they're trying to get to.
Yes.
But he posted a picture eating somewhere and just and it was funny because I was in Puerto Rico about 2 months ago with my girlfriend too, and we were at the same exact restaurant. So hey, small world, eating at the same places as Eric Valentin.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. So the Dynamo are gonna be off, and then the Dash do play this weekend. They do play on the road at Kansas City, by the way. So definitely not a coincidence there with the Dynamo this last week. Yeah, they're playing Kansas City NWSL on Sunday. We just talked about Kansas City a little bit at the start of the episode, but yeah, they're still winless after a few games in. They seem to be in a pretty rough shape compared to the Dash, so the Dash have to win this game. If not, I'll be really mad.
It's almost too perfect of a storm for the Dash, like in a bad sense. Kansas City has everything to play for, no wins, like you said. They're at home. We know how the Houston-Kansas City rivalry in general, in all sports, baseball with the Dynamo and the SKC, and I don't feel good about this one personally. I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but I'm feeling bad vibes.
Oh yeah, like there's a reason to worry. We just talked about it, especially since the team started to figure out the identity still for like to start the season. Like they keep saying that they want to win all the games. They're gonna come in with a really serious attitude to approach all of them, but we still have to see like that clear identity for the team, like to start the season, like with only one win in the last 4 to 5 games coming in.
Yeah, and I think not just for the new signings like Jasmine Spencer and the other ladies we brought into the team, but I think this is an important. These games are important for Christy Mewis, Rachel Daly. I know the U.S. Olympic roster hasn't been announced yet, but Rachel Daly officially announced for the England Olympic squad this summer. I think it's really important for them to solidify their form, even if they're going to be on the squad, solidify their form into the Olympics. And Christy Mewis, Jane Campbell, who usually a backup goalie for the U.S., Nichelle Prince. It's just all these ladies have a lot to play for, even if they already have spots in the national team, to make sure they're starting this summer. So hopefully that clicks, that urgency, and like Andres said, it's a must-win game. Even though I have bad vibes, I'm sending all the good vibes to the Dash.
Good vibes back, yes. And
for the Dynamo, I just wanted to say 2 weeks off, get a nice little vacation. And I was telling Andres I saw on Instagram Maxi, Rudy, and Mateo Bahamic, I think, are vacationing in Vegas for a couple of days. So, cheers, work hard, play hard. So hopefully, all the guys get a little rest, whether they're staying in Houston, whether they're going to visit family, whether they're going to go play a little blackjack in Vegas. But 2 weeks to think about the season. Andres, I know we're not even 1/4 of the way into the season, but is it a win so far? Is it what are you feeling for the first kind of quarter of the season for the Dynamo? Are we where we want it to be?
They're in a pretty decent position considering that they did end up getting positive results over negatives, I like to say. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we haven't been playing a ton of road games, so there's a caveat. So we just have to wait on, honestly. Obviously we've known how the Dynamo handle things on the road, so they can always prove us wrong. But obviously, as veteran Dynamo fans that we are, we all know it's going to happen eventually. So they just have to prove us wrong, and we just have to wait and see what happens on the road.
The thing I'll say is that we can. Kind of cliche saying, but we control our own destiny right now. It's way too early to talk about playoffs, but if you told a Dynamo fan you're going to have, what do we have, 11 points in 8 games? Yeah. And this season, you would have taken that for sure. I know all of you would. Don't even tell me no. Don't tell me no. Even Webb, I know you would take 11 points right now. Yeah. But, yeah, we control our own destiny. I'm so tired of this road game narrative. I'm literally so sick of it. I want to see that just stifled this year, and it's going to need to be put to rest if we're going to get to the playoffs at the end of the season. But good vibes for the Dynamo. And, hey, I'm sorry for the Dash, bad vibes. Good vibes for everybody. Good
vibes. Yeah, good vibes. Yeah, and before we close this episode, we're going to talk about the Dynamo Loan Army.
Yeah, we had a Dynamo Loan Army, 1 of 2, which did not even play this weekend because they had a bye week. Eric McEwen and Charleston Battery.
Half Loan Army.
Yeah, Eric McEwen and Battery did not play, could have rest, and then Marcelo Palomino played 62 minutes in Charlotte's 2-1 loss to Miami FC. To be fair, both I and Andres did not watch that game, but if anybody had the chance to watch Marcelo, let us know about his play, and we're definitely going to be tuning into one of his games soon. Maybe try to get more of an analysis and see how he's faring up. Might need to contact some Charlotte fans, but 2-week break. Obviously, Dash are still going to be playing, so we'll have a little bit of coverage of that. Not sure if we'll have a full episode next week, but teaser. Might be having a certain Dynamo Loan Army player on for our first Noodle Time interview. So
they're gonna have a hard time figuring that one out.
Anyway, 1 of 2. We won't tell you who, but a certain Dynamo Loan Army player on for an interview. And hopefully we get that out in the next 2 weeks, and hopefully first of many players that we'll have on. But anything else to add on this? RGV.
Yeah. That's gonna be
1-1.
Oh yeah, of course. RGV, obviously, the quote-unquote Dynamo affiliates that don't have any Dynamo players in it yet.
They're still in our hearts, but yeah. They got a 1-1 with San Antonio.
Shout out to RGV for releasing the turtle shirt, the third their third kid. Yeah, it's awesome.
If I literally hadn't spent my money on 50 other million jerseys right now, I would buy it. But if it's still available later in the season, I definitely will. I don't know, Puma You know, I'm a little chubby after that COVID, and then Puma jerseys. We know how that goes. It's not gonna look good.
Oh yeah, I'm in a pretty tough spot too because there's that jersey and now the Screwstone FC jersey, like the purple one, the new one.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that one is looks pretty good, but it's sold out quickly. But they're gonna restock soon. So yeah, I'm still looking out. I'm still debating. Yeah.
Shout out Juan Carlos Azoka, your Venezuelan compatriots, who scored an amazing bicycle kick for RGV to tie San Antonio. If you guys haven't seen it, go look it up. And we need to get this cleared up with Edson Ochoa of Down in the Valley, but I believe Azokar's rights are owned by the Dynamo because he was in preseason with the Dynamo for a bit. So, hey, at least we have some stock still in RGV after everything has been taken, but still wish him the best of luck. And thank you guys for listening this week.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy the nugget of us trying to interview one of the Dynamo Loan Army soldiers.
Yeah, I'll say
he's your reward for tuning in this late.
I'll give you guys a clue if you figure out he might be of Scandinavian descent and he might be tall. So I don't know if that rules it out at all.
Okay, no comment, but okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was me and Tony talking to you about all things Dynamo and Dash, and yeah. Stay tuned for episode 10, the anniversary episode, the decade-long episode.
All right, guys. This is Miami FC's. This is Inter Miami 15th DP signing out. Stay noodle.
Stay noodle, boys and girls.